All right, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to give it a few seconds here and let the attendees join in. I see the list is increasing, so we'll give it a few seconds and we'll get started if we can. All right, looks like I haven't seen anybody new join, so we will give it another couple seconds, and if there's nobody else, we'll go ahead and start.
Thank you.
All right, I haven't seen the number jumping, so good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the MzeroManage Personnel Management Kiosk webinar. I'll go ahead and apologize for my nasally tone. Temperature dropped to 36 something degrees here in North Carolina, and apparently my sinuses went out the window. So, all right, let us begin. So, we're discussing the Personnel Management Kiosk, and more specifically, its integration with the MzeroManage cloud software. If you're familiar with the physical kiosk, then this will just be a review for you. You can sit back, relax, and if this is a new product for you, if you're not sure what the hardware kiosk is, then allow me to give you a few explanations and examples. So this is a facial recognition supported temperature taking device. It does have the ability to capture a image or a scan event using facial recognition. That is optional. You do not have to use facial recognition. It will take a temperature, record that event, scan that event, and save that record of the user being scanned in with their temperature. There are a couple different hardware configurations, as you see here on your screen, going left to right. There's the standard 48-inch pedestal model, which is about an average height pedestal. The head unit can pan and tilt, so you can tilt it back a little bit or tilt it down. This model is the most commonly ordered model. We do have a child height model, which is about a foot shorter, really good for early childhood education. I've actually heard great things about individuals who run facilities where a lot of scanees or individuals who need their temperature taken are actually in a wheelchair. For instance, senior living facilities, healthcare, hospital, those type of facilities. That is available, that child height. So not only for kids, but maybe those in mobility scooters or who might be, in some sort of wheelchair configuration. The pedestal with LED, this incorporates an additional illumination source. So the typical kiosk head unit has a LED that will light up green on a good scan, red for and above a temperature threshold scan. This unit incorporates that LED at the top, as well as an LED ring around the base. This could add more visibility to the scanning if you have a monitored scanning station, something along those lines that is there and available. The pedestal with LED also does feature an onboard relay. So as with the other units, there's a dry contact relay, which reads changes in voltages on a relay that does need the additional dry contact relay interface board to operate as such. This model, while it includes the dry contact relay pigtail, it does include an actual real life relay that makes that click noise. That's my relay sound effect for those of you who are frequent to the webinar. So yeah, that LED model gives you a nice ring light, but a lot of people don't know is that it does incorporate that relay. So if you have a switching door system or you want it to trigger some other event where voltage is used to signify a change, that relay and pedestal LED version is an all-in-one shot. Wall mountable. Actually, heard quite a few individuals on the support side that are using the wall mount version. They seem to like it. Its form factor and getting it up out of the way, and you don't need all this extra metal here for your kiosk stand, then you definitely would want to look at the wall mount bracket. And last but certainly not least, the ultra portable, chic and sleek countertop model. Perfect for setting on a desk or carrying it around, moving it to multiple locations. All these great features just in a slightly, a significantly shorter stand. So I mentioned the device does take temperature. It has the option to use facial recognition to uh, identify employees or what we would call enrolled users, which is great. But managing this device, being able to control the device, update settings, all those great things that you're probably, if you currently have the device, are doing with your mouse and keyboard, that's where MzeroManage steps into the ring. So MzeroManage is designed to interact with the PMK, the Personnel Management Kiosk. Refer to it as PMK. It is designed to interface with that to allow you to receive reports, view scans, add faces to the database, and ultimately what you can do to control one unit, you can do to control 10, 20, 100 units deployed throughout your multiple locations. So a couple of the features and capabilities as we're talking about MzeroManage, and they kind of piggyback off of the features with the PMK hardware, the physical kiosk itself. Uh, if you've used facial recognition on the device, you're aware that you have to add their face to the database, get the mouse, get the keyboard out, stand here, take this picture, what's your name, what's your number, all that great information. MzeroManage in the cloud allows you to control that information in one central location. What is this perfect for? This is perfect for 5, 10 kiosks, or maybe you have kiosks across campus and your IT department, or if you yourself are in the IT department, you don't want to be running across campus and going to each kiosk, removing the head unit, popping in the thumb drive, downloading the data, then repeating that 5, 10 times. Makes sense to do it once, be done with it. So here at MzeroManage, you can upload and edit a list of employees that will be pushed out to all your kiosks for facial recognition. You can view a real-time scan of a dashboard of scans occurring, uh, pull reports, search reports, export those reports to like a CSV or Excel type database file. Check and see if the kiosk is online. When was the last time it was online? Is it connected? Update settings, change settings and configurations. I mentioned about the dashboard, the portal. You're able to group kiosks. Say, for instance, you have a office in Dayton, Ohio, but you don't need the people in New York City on their kiosk to interact with that kiosk or see those scans. You can group those kiosks and change permission as you add request to add additional users. There is an option as well using the MzeroManage software to suppress the numerical temperature value. If that is a concern for you or your organization, your state, locale, government, might be considered personal health information, might be considered something along the lines of, we don't even want to see a number associated with a name and a face. We just want to know if they're above a threshold. You do have that ability using MzeroManage cloud software to strip away the numerical temperature value and just get a pass or a fail. The gist of what a lot of users want is they just want to know, did I want to be able to go and see, did Sam Smith scan in? All right. Did Jimmy Johnson have a high temperature? Or just know when there is a high temperature event. So with the use of the email alerts and the online and cloud connectivity, you can do that. You can also limit the amount of data or what data is stored on the local device in conjunction with MzeroManage. So if you've got a good internet connection, if you're connected to the web, if you scan in, it will immediately push that record up to the cloud and it will not keep it on the physical device. Once the cloud says, hey, I got it, I see it, it deletes it off the physical device. If you don't plan on doing a facial recognition profile for each employee or each individual in your company, then you can just kind of sit back and relax on this next slide. But for those of you who are on the cusp of thinking, let's add everybody, let's get their faces in here, let's build them profiles, let's get them rolling along, then this is the slide for you. This will save you a lot of heartache and hassle. The biggest thing that you need to take away from the FACE database enrollment is the quality and the format of the picture you submit. I cannot stress that enough. It is the format and the quality of the picture that you use for profile pictures. The individual should not be wearing a mask. That is a common question we get. The profile picture should look just like this. If you've ever taken a photography class, that's a hobby of yours, maybe you're a semi-pro or you're a professional photographer, you're going to know about the rule of thirds. So the rule of thirds in graphic design and photography is just what that means. It means I'm going to divide my image, I'm going to divide my substrate, my canvas into thirds. So I've got a top, middle, and a lower third, left, middle, and a right third. I get 9 little grid squares, or in this case, rectangles. But my rule of thirds, if you look at this image here, the model used in this photograph, I'm getting everything from a neck profile and a chin in my lower third to capturing the eyes, the nose, maybe part of the lips and teeth. You can smile, you can have a grimace on your face, as long as you're not contorting your face in such a way that your everyday scans are going to be affected by that. We want to get ear to ear, top of the head to at least the bottom of the chin. If we can get some neck profile in there, that's better. So again, I'll say it again. The better photo you feed the facial recognition algorithm, the more accurate, the faster, and the more reliable your facial scans are going to be. Image quality and the format of the picture taken are paramount to getting an excellent and a quick scan. So if you ever need to see an example, hit print screen on your keyboard or Command Shift 4 on your Macintosh and take a picture of the screen right now. Save it. So, all right. So just a couple other things. I had to get off my soapbox right there. Had to put that out there so you guys understand that the profile picture is very important. If you're doing a bulk upload, which is a feature on the website which allows you to gather pictures and employee information ahead of time, there's a couple of important steps that you need to follow for getting your facial recognition image zip or your zip file for your images set up. So they must be flat folder zipped. What does that mean? That means, for lack of better words, when I click on the images.zip, I should immediately see pictures. If you click on your zip file and you see a folder as the first root item, the root of the zip file, you're not going to upload. It's going to fail. So you should be able to click on your images.zip and see pictures. I personally, I like to use 7-zip. It's a free utility for Windows. I've used it in multiple professional experiences and at home on my own PC. 7-zip, pretty easy to use, gives you some features there that will be nice. Image types, JPEG or PNG. I know a lot of iPhone 10 plus 11s and 12s out there. They use this crazy HEIC Apple specific high quality image. We can't use that. It's got to be a JPEG or PNG, portable network graphic. Chances are if you're using a digital camera, it's going to be a JPEG of some sort unless if you're an advanced enough user to shoot high ISO with a raw image export, you'll be an advanced enough user to know how to get it into JPEG. But if you're using a webcam, something like that, chances are it's going to be PNG or JPEG. There's lots of image converters out there, a couple built into the Windows imaging tool, all that good stuff. The record associated with the employee, there's going to be a cell in the sheet that you fill out in the CSV that you build. They'll have the VIP ID or the employee ID. That's an employee number. It's a number you could use internally at your company. It could be something you make up just to say, hey, this is Tim's record with M0. Excuse me, hiccups. The image should be named, for instance, 1999, 1999.png. So if I had a record that said, Tim Smith and his employee ID was 1999, the parser or the actual program that grabs the images out of the zip and associates them with a record is going to look for this. It's going to say, oh, 1999.png. That must be Tim Smith's employee ID. So let's add that to his profile. So if you've got an employee ID of 1234567 8, and that is Jenny's employee number, Jenny's photo needs to be 1234567 8.png or .jpeg. No more than 500 kilobytes in size. We do not need a super high resolution 32 megapixel photograph. Do not go out and buy a DSLR camera and say that Josh told you to do that. No, like I said, a webcam on a computer, my little Logitech webcam or my HP built-in webcam takes a sufficient enough picture for accurate facial representation. Let's see. Size. So again, this image here is about 800 by 1100 pixels tall. So you do not really need a super sized high resolution image in the sense of pixels. It should be clear. It should be a good quality image. I should be able to look at the face and see it. No pixelization, no distortion, no blurring, that type of thing. But it cannot exceed 4,000 pixels tall by 2,600 pixels wide. I would say on average, about 1,200 pixels tall by about 800 pixels wide is fine. Filling up the image, the face on the screen, that's another important thing. You definitely want to fill the screen with the face. That's what we're worried about. That's what we're trying to do a accurate recognition of. So we don't need a whole bunch of background. No large coats, no hoods, no hats, no masks. Glasses are fine as long as there's not a bad glare. That would be one of the biggest things. You definitely want to avoid getting glasses with glare. Let's see. So face, tilt, angle, pitch. What does that mean? That means no looking over the shoulder, no RCA Victor dog with his head tilted to the side. We need it to be straight forward looking, all in the lens of the camera, straight into the lens of the camera, just like this model here. If you have any questions about that, if you're curious as you're building your face database, you say, hey, these are some of the pictures. Will these work? We've seen enough here in the support center that we can, for lack of better words, probably take a quick look at a picture and say, no, this ain't going to do it. So yeah, no looking up, no looking down, no looking over the shoulder, no noisy background. It's plain, matte, industrial gray, white, even the kind of blue color that some photography studios and government or state issued IDs will have. That's fine. You do not want to take these pictures in front of busy patterns, no paisley prints. I would say try to avoid wallpaper, anything with a bunch of horizontal and vertical lines. That just it has caused more problems than it looks pretty. This is for facial recognition. It's not going to show up on anything other than a report. And then last but not least, as far as the images, no more than 20,000 unique faces per database set. So if you have more than 20,000 people at a location, please reach out to a sales representative. We have a couple things we can do to adjust or maybe perhaps create a unique scenario for you guys. So I want to talk a second here about the startup video resource library, as well as the help desk, as well as the knowledge base. So there's several ways to receive support. I will discuss those in detail towards the end of this video, or towards the end of this webinar, I should say. But I just want to talk about some of the video startup libraries as well as the knowledge base. So you can go to the Meridian Kiosk website, meridiankiosks.com. Once it loads, you will see a menu across the top. You'll see the temperature screening kiosk. If you highlight over temperature screening kiosk, you'll see a little drop-down menu, and there will be resources, FAQs, that's frequently asked questions, webinars of days past. All that information there is available right now. You can go ahead and start looking at some of the documentation. You can search the knowledge base. You can watch some of these videos on how to set the device up. I'm one of those guys, if I order something, especially if it's a piece of technology, you better believe that chances are before I've even put it in my cart, I've at least taken a peep at the user manual. That is it's one of my nerd things. I get on my little nerd on my little nerd rant, but no, That's one of the biggest things. If you're waiting for your software, if you're thinking about buying the software, if you're thinking about buying the hardware, take a look at the resource section. There's downloadable documentation there for um, the pigtail connectors, the wiring connectors. Chances are it's been asked before and it's already there. If not, through that same FAQ section, you can access the help desk. You can raise a ticket on the portal, and you can go from there. So there's a couple different portals. There's two portals that you're really going to interact with. I am doing some testing right now, so I don't have an example, a live example set up. But if you go to the temperature screening kiosk pages I was mentioning before, you can view webinars of times past. And last week I did a pretty extensive um, walkthrough as well as a live scan. I wish I could do that for you today, but I was doing some testing here in the lab, and so I've got both my PMKs are in a test mode right now. So we won't do that, but I'll just kind of discuss what happens on Manage. This is your more, it's what we call the MzeroManage portal, my black and green portal. If you talk to me on the phone, chances are I'll refer to it as, are you in the black and green portal? That type of deal. So let's see. When we're doing work in this portal, for lack of better words, you're basically adding kiosks. You're grouping kiosks, setting up groups. If you've had a help desk request in to add additional users, you can manage their permissions here. You can set up and subscribe to the email alerts in this portal. That's the gist of it. That's basically the biggest operations you're going to do. There's some additional reporting features and some additional kind of back end server side things that you can do in this portal, but that's going to be for your more advanced users, and it's usually only needed if there's some type of troubleshooting or you have questions. This is where the fun takes place. This is where you're going to review your reports. You can view the dashboard, add and edit faces or employee information for onboarding, change the settings on the device, push those settings out, reboot software, do a lot of the remote features. Most of the remote features, as far as actually changing settings and pushing faces down, pulling reports, is going to take place here on the Personnel.Meridian Kiosks page. And this is what we call the MzeroManage view, or sometimes you'll hear us refer to it as the view portal, because really what you're doing is you're viewing your scans, you're viewing your information, you're viewing your reports. Like I said, last week's webinar, the 11th, or 12th, can't remember. I'm horrible at calendar days. The whole 7-day thing messes me up. Anyway, last week's webinar, I did a pretty extensive example. I actually did some live scans. And like I said, I wish I could do that for you today, but both my test units are, I'm trying to replicate a troubleshooting issue here. So we'll move along to that. This is where I want to discuss the support packages. And I need to pull up my cheat sheet on what those support packages are. Apologize 1 second. Come on, Adobe Readers being difficult. All right, excellent. So talking about the support packages here, there's a couple different things. So if you've purchased MzeroManage, the software, if you're in the software, if you're doing MzeroManage software, you'll probably be offered or suggested to get a onboarding session. So there's a 1-hour onboarding session for new users, or if you were a beta user and you're upgrading and adding, yada, 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 it's available. There's really nothing to stop you from purchasing it, but it is designed for new users who have yet to really sink their teeth into MzeroManage. So the onboarding session is kind of custom tailored to you. That's to help get you set up, get you connected, go through some default settings, test scans, ensure that there's a little bit on the end user side that we would request that you do, at least attempt to get it connected to the network, update it, and then to perform to try and add it to manage using the startup guide and the welcome guide. If you can't do it, it's okay. We're not holding anything against you. That's just there to maximize your time with the support team. If you call up, you don't know what you're doing, by all means, we are going to help you and we're going to work with you to get you straight. Do not think that, oh my God, I haven't done something, I need to cancel. No, no, no. We're here to take care of you. We're here to help you. That 1 hour onboarding session is a scheduled time that says, hey, a member of our support team is going to sit there with you, undivided attention, and work through it. There's a 1 minute, there is a 20-minute training session that you can buy in 20-minute increments. I apologize for my sinusy brain and nose. Anyway, so that 20-minute training session is, for lack of better words, more designed for a standalone unit. It really kind of goes over using the kiosk physically, how to scan, what to scan, alignment issues. Hey, I noticed that if I stand over here next to this hot plate of freshly annealed metal in my factory, I get a high temperature. We explain why and how to fix that, how to curb that, for lack of better words. Then there's the support plans. So your traditional standard bought a kiosk and MzeroManage support plan that gives you the email, the hotline, phone support, weekdays 8 to 5 Eastern time, no holidays, no nights. You're getting that with your purchase of your device. The next level up is a PMK Select. So PMK Select, you purchase this plan for each kiosk, per kiosk, etc. That still gives you the access to the Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 phone, email, hotline, 1-800 number called Tier 1 support. But that gives you 60 minutes of after hours support. So that's all weekdays, minus holidays, minus weekends that you can call up. So if you've got a problem at 9 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, you get 60 minutes of support time. If it takes you 5 minutes to fix the issue, you have 55 more minutes. It's not a one and done. We do keep track of that, and it does increment as time goes on. Or sorry, decrement, whatever the word is. I apologize again for my sinuses. Let's see, PMK Premium. So PMK Premium, that's the next step up. That's basically the exact same as the PMK Select, but you get 2 hours instead of 1 hour after hour support. So that's weekdays, no holidays, no weekends. And the same as PMK Select, it does include return ground shipping. God forbid something happened to your unit and you need to do a return merchandise. That's fine. It will cover ground shipping to return it. You still have to ship it to us, but we will cover ground shipping to get the new one back out to you. And then last but certainly not least is the Premium Plus package. This includes the online, the email, the hotline, the phone support, 2 hours of after hours support, which does include holidays and weekends. That also includes one on-site tech visit, which in and of itself is a $200 minimum value, as well as 2-day shipping on head units for returns for repair, replacement, etc., and a 48-hour head unit replacement. So that means within 48 hours of determining there's an issue, we'll have it out. And most of the time, even on the regular days, it's before that 48-hour mark. So just a little bit about our support plans. Of course, these should be available through your third-party dealer, distributor, reseller channel, or direct from Meridian. So now we are at the point of the webinar where you guys can submit some questions. I'm going to stop talking for a minute and take a sip of water. If you guys have any questions, please feel free now to go ahead and submit those. All right, we got a couple questions here. Let's do it. All right. Oh, we got one from Jose. Jose, if you don't know, I just want to tell everybody on the me right now. Jose is excellent, man. He comes every time, and he has some excellent questions. So this is a good one. So if you're listening, guys, it's a big one because he's talking about a software update we just did. So I want to make sure you guys listen to this. So I recently installed PMK Update version 46. I noticed that after every update, I have to reconfigure the application settings from scratch. Is there a way to carry over the current settings to the latest version? And also, how do I acknowledge an alarm condition? All right. So we're going to talk to the first part. So there's two. Great question, by the way, Jose, and glad you're here today. So that's a very important question because there's two methods to update your unit. There is a network update which does it over local area network using a batch file and some other software to push the update out and run it on the PMK head unit. When doing that update, that should not overwrite any software configuration files. That should be what we just call a simple upgrade or upsert. If you use the USB method, that does require you to remove the old application and do an install. So Jose, just go ahead and follow up with me while I answer your next question and let me know what method you used. If it was USB, then for sure, that would explain why. If not, there's a chance you had two applications running on the device. I have seen that happen occasionally. As far as acknowledging an alarm condition, if you're talking about the high temperature alert, those clear automatically after 2 minutes. Yep. Okay, Jose, I'll stay away from the USB method. Yes, sir. That will do it to you every time. That's kind of like a fresh install or a fresh wipe. So using the net, and I understand some locations you might not be able to do that, and I understand that it's not the funnest thing in the world. But if you're able to do the network update, if you're able to kind of finagle your way around your local area network, or you know what, use a hotspot, use your mobile phone and a laptop. That seems to get people around a lot of firewall filters that will prevent your computer from communicating directly with the device. All right. Let's see, the alert is showing from 2 weeks ago in MzeroManage view. Jose, take a screenshot of that and show me because I want to see what that looks like. Um, that might just be a cookie issue. We got to clear some cookies. So or actually tell you what, Jose, if you open up a support ticket, pop that in there so we can track it because I'd like to see if that's a bug or a cookie or something we need to look out for. Like I said, Jose's got great questions. He brings some great things to our attention. So we're definitely thankful for that. All right, I'm gonna give it a few more seconds. I don't have any more. I just got another question. Let's see. Bless you. Sorry, someone in another room sneezed. We seem to have people that are bald with receding hairline. Also, at times, kiosk finicky. We are in complete stranger mode. At times, it takes a while to register the temperature. We have asked the individual to remove their hat, mask, glasses, etc. So yeah, sometimes with individuals who have a bald or receding hairline, especially in certain locations where there's a lot of light, the head can reflect some light. And I know that's like, yeah, it's kind of, oh, it's deal. A beanie, believe it or not, has worked for some individuals, especially now it's getting colder, or a baseball cap on backwards. I know that seems silly, but it leaves that outline in that head and it reduces the glare. Glasses, yeah, sometimes glasses, it's just they're so bright that they create what we call lens flare artifacts. It will do it on any camera or thermal imager. This has a camera and a thermal imager in it. So sometimes what we found, Joanne, is you will need to pan and tilt the head up and down a little bit, kind of like you're slowly nodding to somebody, and then that will give it enough facial points to capture that scam. And I mean really slowly. Like if you were to put your chin on your chest and then look all the way up at the ceiling, then you'd be looking at the ceiling. So about 6 seconds. Doesn't have to be with everybody, um, but yeah, it seems sometimes with the mask or the coats, it's the jawline, it's the neckline. Like I said, I'm not necessarily skinny at all. I'll pick on myself, but I noticed that when this morning, for instance, I came in, I had my big bulky Carhartt jacket on. When I unzipped my jacket, it immediately scanned me, and I looked. when I aligned with the unit, and sure enough, my jacket, those big thick Carhartt, like the real thick Carhartt jackets, it was 36 degrees here this morning. It was obscuring my neck and chin. And of course, I got a beard, and so it was kind of all blending in. There wasn't enough hard lines or symmetry. But the minute I did a half zip and stood up straight, it immediately scanned me. So some postural adjustment and maybe removing a large coat or unzipping a little bit can help. Let's see, are they capable? Okay, let's see. Are these units capable? I'm sorry, hold on, let me try again. This clicking. Are these units capable of sending email notifications in a high temperature condition? If so, what information is or can be included? So yes, if you're utilizing MzeroManage, you can subscribe to the temperature alerts. So you'd set a threshold on the device. If a user scans in above that threshold, then you would receive an email alert. Currently, it just tells you the time and the location of the kiosk in the email itself. We are working on adding a hyperlink, which is being tested right now in production, that you would be able to click that hyperlink and immediately be taken to the scan result. So if Tim scans in and 101.3 or 101.3, you get the scan alert, you could click that, log in real quick and see, oh snap, Tim, and then go get on the phone, call operations, call the nurse, call Domino's Pizza, whatever you got, whoever you got to call, and let them know that, hey, this individual needs to be quarantined. We need to sit them down. Whatever your organizational role is in this in these type of temperature events. So that currently right now it just tells you what unit and what time. There was some concern about private health information being transmitted via email from an email outside of the originating organization. For instance, they're processed through our server, and if your organization, your locale, your state, your country, etc., can't have that, hey, you can't do that. That's why. So if you go through a hyperlink, which still requires secondary authentication, then you would be getting the information you need, but still behind some sort of authentication wall to prevent unauthorized access. Let's see, how do we set up the email alert? So if you're using MzeroManage server portal, that's that black and green portal, you will go in and you'll set up a user, click on a user, and then you will actually give that user an event subscription. So you will subscribe to the event. And actually, I might have that article right here. Pull it up here. And I'll just send this to everyone. That will show you how to set up an email alert. Of course, if you have issues, then you can open a ticket. That actually is a link to the help desk and the help desk knowledge base. Can this be done without the MzeroManage software? Currently, no. Will the onboarding help with that? Yes, the onboarding will help with anything you need, or you can use that email link there to to go ahead and get a head start on setting it up. All right, we got about 4 more minutes, so I got time for maybe 2 or 3 more questions or one big one. So I'll give it a second, take a sip of water, and we'll see what comes through the line. All right, still no new questions. Oh, let's see there. Will there be another webinar? Excellent. Yes, thank you so much, Joanne, for reminding me. There will be another webinar. Next week, there will not be a webinar because of the American Thanksgiving holiday. So we will not have a webinar next week. And I know this is so bad. Oh my God, I have to pull my calendar up just to look at dates. So the next webinar will be December 2nd. December 2nd, pending any lockdowns or anything like that going on. But you can find the webinars of times past as well. They are on the website. If you go to the temperature screening kiosk menu, you'll see a link for webinars. At what time? It is always 4 p.m. on Wednesday. So 4 p.m. Eastern Time. What is that? 1 p.m. Pacific, and all points in between. All right. So any more questions? I probably get one more. You're very welcome. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You're very welcome. I'm gonna say probably do one more before my voice completely gives out. So we'll go give it a couple more seconds here. All right, I'll do the old, maybe you're typing, maybe you're a slow typer. It's okay, my dad's a pretty slow typer. Let's see, going once, going twice. Maybe you're still typing? All right, well, so, oh, we got one. Okay, let's see, here we go. I hate when it doesn't let me scroll. All right, let me send this link. Can you show how to add users as a root user? So currently, that needs to be done through the help desk. Let me send you a link to the help desk portal and use that link there. Provide their name and their email address, and as soon as we can get them added to an account, if you're not the root administrator for the account, if you weren't the individual that was sent the credentials, you have to have at least permission, proof of permission from the root administrator, or if you yourself are the root administrator, we will be able to check and verify that. So please open a ticket there, and then we can take care of that. All right. To give it one more last call. Got 1 minute remaining. It's the final countdown. All right, well, that was it. I didn't see any more come through. So we're going to wrap it up for today. I thank every single one of you for joining. Again, if you look at the website, you can view webinars of times past. We will not be meeting next week, but we will be back December 2nd, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. If we don't talk to you on a support ticket or on the phone, you guys have a great holiday next week. Be safe if you're traveling. Drive safe, fly safe, stay safe. And if it's cold where you're at, like it's cold here, stay warm. And y'all have a great rest of the afternoon.